but we need to stop being so goddamn lazy and stop expecting for the door to be open and for us to be pushed through it. No, you walk your ass through the fucking door and you put up a podium and you stand there and you stand in your truth.
That's right.
Okay?
Don't hold back how you feel. Welcome to the platform for the misunderstood and creatives alike. So roll a joint and pour a shot. You're listening to the Dash It Out podcast, the show that brings your after hours talk to daytime. No wrong opinions and all unfiltered. With your host, Vic Tor.
Welcome to another episode of the Dash It Out show. Today's topic is what you say. I have a special guest joining us today as my co-host, the lovely Marie Richardson, specializes in topics such as mental health, women's empowerment, civil rights, and domestic violence. Marie is a certified presenter, speaker for the National Alliance on Mental Health, and the first place winner in 2019 for her speech, Stand Up and Stand Your Ground. I know that's right. She's with us today to promote her book, 10 Steps to Becoming a Highly Effective Public Speaker. And with that said, without further ado, let's go ahead and dash this out.
Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
So, Marie, can you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So, as you stated, I'm a professional motivational speaker.
Nice.
Mental health advocate. I'm an author, communication specialist, and on top of all of those different things, I'm the mother of 2 teenage children. So, yeah.
Baby mama.
Motherhood, that's a job within itself, right?
Oh, that is, especially now with homeschooling. Okay.
Yes. That's instant dedication. So, just a quick question. What encouraged you to become part of this particular field?
You know, I always was a speaker because I have a big mouth and I'm always talking, right? And it just seemed like a natural progression. However, kind of getting into the mental health advocacy and speaking and being a presenter for others came out of getting out of a toxic, horrific marriage and wanting to make sure that other women saw coming what I didn't see or maybe refused to see. And so I wanted to be able to tell my story, to share it for inspiration and encouragement.
Got you. Had a round of applause for that. I love it. Some people's experience is highly beneficial to someone who's looking for some form of safety, who's lost and intimidated by speaking up or doing something needed to help benefit them. So I really do love your work.
Thank you.
I truly do appreciate it. Another thing that I'm just kind of curious about, as far as motivational speaking, like speaking your mind and, you know, stepping outside your shell and being able to verbalize what it is exactly that's happening with you. As I can see, your principles can be applied for multiple aspects of life. I never really had experience with some of the things that you spoke about in your book and on your site. I just wanted to know, because I'm a singer and a performer as well, and I do have issues with this public speaking and just performances in general. Do the methods apply as well for like performers?
They absolutely do. Someone asked me, they said, well, why do you name your book 10 Steps to Becoming a Highly Effective Public Speaker? And everyone doesn't want to be a public speaker. I said, it's not to teach people how to be a public speaker. It's to be able to have the ability to speak publicly. You know, right. However you dice that up, but you still can have the traits, the ability, and not want to be a public speaker. I go over the importance of the demographics and knowing your audience. So even being a performer, you need to know who you're performing to. You're not going to go in the country western bar and do a set if you're an R&B singer or a hip hop performer, because you know that's not your demographics.
Correct.
You know,
exactly.
Being
target audience.
Absolutely. Being mindful of time management, how you're presenting yourself. My book can be utilized for anything where you know communication is important.
I love it. So starting out, have you always been confident in your ability to have to be a public speaker? Have you always had them tools of the trade to be able to just speak what you say with confidence and like just having a free nature? Like, have that always been a part of who you are? Or just something you develop somewhere down the line?
I told you I have a big mouth. Yes, it has been
Okay.
always. I
Okay.
tell people that I think I came out of the womb talking and somebody was shushing me. Um,
Oh,
yes, but let me put a twist on that. I had to learn how to tell my story to be of benefit. So speaking is comfortable and natural. Crowds do not scare me. Boardrooms do not scare me. But what I had to learn was how to distribute and disseminate my message, how much of it to give, what's going to be meaningful, and what's crying and complaining. And so those are the things that make you out to be a good communicator, is the ability to tell the story and let the story evoke emotions in your crowd, and not people seeing you cry or giving them all the cues on what emotions they should have. That's the cue of being a good storyteller and being able to communicate.
nice, nice. That's hey, you put it down. You laid it down. um, so so just a fun fact. A lot of people do have trouble with public speaking. A lot of people have trouble with just communicating and like making new friends. A lot of it's kind of like stimulate from a childhood shyness. And then public speaking is like it's a lot of people's number one phobia.
Mhm.
Do you have like what's your main tip can you give to someone to just help alleviate that pressure of public speaking?
Well, one thing that I always tell people that's probably extremely cliche is I remind people to breathe, the importance of breathing. It's not the miracle pill, but what it does is it allows you to pace yourself. Deep diaphragm breaths allow you to be able to pace your emotions, you pace your pulse, and to kind of get yourself under control. The other thing that I always try to share with people is that you're either going to tell your story or other people are going to tell it for you. I teach public speaking and debate on the weekend at 3 workshops, and some of the individuals are very shy. And I explain to them, if I come up to you and we go over very basic things of getting to know each other, if you don't tell me and give me a story, then I have to create my own story about you because you're giving me nothing to go on.
Wow.
And so that's how you look about communication. If I don't create the image for you, then you're going to create your own image. It may not be an image I want. So you take baby steps into how to get to be comfortable with yourself. Because once you're comfortable with yourself, then you can communicate with anyone. Most very shy people are still working through aspects of uncertainty of themselves and are not ready or uncomfortable because that's an inner thing. So once you work through that, then you're able to freely go and meet and introduce yourself to people and get to know people. But if you don't tell your story, somebody else will. That may not be flattering. So I always encourage people to try to step outside yourself, take baby steps, but get to know you and then give people portions, small portions of you want them to have that you're in control of.
Round of applause, everybody.
Exactly. It's just ties into the saying you either stand for something or you fall for, you know, everything. Like
Absolutely.
you
Right.
gotta have some type of monument within yourself. You have to believe in yourself, and if you don't really take care of it, it just leads to a lack of success. You have to take care of it. You have to take care of yourself. You have to have some type of uncertainty that you can be able to take the next step. You have to have faith and you have to believe within yourself. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's a lot for a lot of people to take in just within like one episode. But honestly, folks, though, they can get a lot from your book. And
Yeah.
speaking of which, can you just tell us a little bit about your book. I know you've pretty much been talking about it, but can you just tell us more about your book, the 10 steps? Tell us a little bit about the 10 steps, okay?
Okay. Well, it's just the 10 steps to becoming a highly effective public speaker is 10 steps to help you be able to communicate better. So I go over the importance of knowing your topic. I don't know how many times I've gone to, especially we're in the world of Zoom now. I've looked at a webinar and the topic is this, but they're talking about something different. So I can't with people. I need you to focus, know what you're going to communicate with me about and keep it centered on that topic. Again, I go over audience demographics, the importance of timekeeping, how time is money. So don't invite people to come see you or don't be a part of something and you don't respect their time, because that messes with you being able to further your business, and how speaking really helps to create confidence.
Wow.
Once you can communicate clearly and concisely, I'm telling you, the confidence that you get from that, you can speak to anybody about anything, anywhere, anytime. And that's really what you want.
Oh my.
And the importance of showing personality. When I speak, even when I'm talking about my horrible ex-marriage or whatever else, and I get people that reach out to me, or if I've done a conference or something of that nature, people that come up to me and want to hug me or shake my hand, or they live that situation, or they live that experience, and I didn't think I can get out of it. Let your personality show. Let people know that you are a human being and you have a pulse.
Hello.
That will gravitate people to you. And so my book walks people through these 10 steps that I use to be successful in speaking.
It's nice, beneficial. Yeah. That's highly empowering.
Thank you.
You recently spoke about your ex-marriage, the domestic violence that occurred through there. So a lot of listeners that would really love to take something away from that. In what ways did you get the strength to be able to walk away or to speak up when injusticeness was being displayed? I know you real deep in women's empowerment. As we're speaking of demographics, I do have a large demographic of women who listen to the show. What can you give to empower them? Because I noticed, 9 times out of 10 when it comes to domestic violence relationships, like a lot of people don't really, a lot of women, males, females, it's, no one really wants to speak too much about it. Everyone always wants to let it go, just, push it off to the very end and just forget about it and believe that, okay, if I just stop forgetting about it, it won't bother me. But the underlying issue is still there and it resonates throughout someone's day-to-day life. How do you get over what it is that you're going through, and what you can do to help empower someone else or power another relationship, should I say?
Okay. Well, one thing I will definitely say is that domestic violence is really a real thing, whether you're being hit, whether you're being verbally or mentally abused. The hitting is almost as detrimental, disgusting, and horrible as it is. The scars healed. The mental and the verbal abuse sticks and can stick and can be very treacherous for people. What allowed me to be able to get out of it was 2 things. One, towards the end of our marriage, and the end had been hanging around for a while, right? But towards the end of our marriage, he decided to go out and have an affair with a woman who ended up being HIV positive.
Oh, shit.
But he went out, had an affair with a woman. That was my line. I don't come in behind any woman. I don't care who she is. I don't do it.
Right.
I don't think so.
And so that to me was a hard stop. I had been tolerating the bad behavior. And as strong and as confident as I am, let me be clear. Once somebody is able to try to attempt to get into your head, it almost can overrule everything that you have taught yourself, everything that you know better, because I think some of it is women, especially because I have men that have come up to me who are victims of domestic violence as well. So it happens to anybody, but more prevalent with women. But that abuser is training you. He's training you to take his physical or his mental or verbal punches. And he's training you to take them, keep them, accept them, and to shut up about it. One thing I tell women all the time is that one of the things outside of his infidelity that helped me to move forward was that I understood more so than ever, and I grew up very religious, that I was made in God's image, and he absolutely did not create me for some man that was less than to come along and to verbally, mentally, or physically abuse me because of what his mom and daddy didn't do for him.
Right. That's the crazy. That's foul.
Right.
That's trifling. And in the faith, my father raised us right,
Yeah.
And anything other than that's ordained of God is of the devil.
Right.
Is up, and we would not tolerate that. God would not wants to have that. We was all made in the Creator's image, and anything else is just of evil.
Yep.
And no, I don't know. I just cannot stand that wickedness. I don't know.
I accepted my responsibility in all of this, right? So as much as he was 98.99% wrong for all of his conduct, right? All of his behavior, I had to accept responsibility. I didn't check him out properly. Had I met his mother and father and his siblings, I would have never. But since I didn't do that, I allowed myself to walk into a bad situation. And then once I got into a bad situation, I psyched myself into believing that I could help somebody and love him better, or his mom and daddy abused him and they didn't treat him, that's not my problem. It is not my job to come along and help to lick the boo-boos of anybody from their past trauma.
Oh, hell no.
I don't even have the power to do so. So all you find yourself doing is taking the abuse that they couldn't give to the mama who didn't care, and they couldn't give to the daddy who don't care, and they couldn't give to nobody else. They're going to come and take it out on you because they see you're a fixer or you're a loving person.
Exactly.
So I tell people, it's not your job. You cannot cure, heal anybody. Keep it pushing.
Right, exactly. Don't allow no one else's burden sit there and take power over your life. You don't want nothing that's going to diminish your character as a strong Black African American woman, loving mother. Like, no, hell no. Like, no guy is worth that attention.
Oh, yeah.
That we're not put on this earth to allow our character to be diminished by someone else's insecurities, because they're too much and it's subordinate to take care of their own underlying problems. We're not put here to fix everybody's problems, okay? So I completely understand where you're coming from, and I do, like, to the bottom of my heart, I admire your strength of character. I admire it, and I'm really glad. I'm really happy with you being on the show today. Like, seriously, I'm feeling rejuvenated. I feel like I feel like I can break down some barriers, like right now.
That's
right. But,
that's right.
Also, see that you speak about civil rights. Okay. So what is your take on the Wisconsin officer who shot the black man, Jacob Blake? Shot him 7 times in his back.
That, on top of all of these senseless, really murders of Black people, is unfortunate. It's disgusting. They should be held accountable for it. But we can't stand on the sidelines and not do more. We have to vote locally. They think we have no power. They think we are not aware. They think we are not involved, and we have been showing them for years. We don't, and we aren't. So we need to change that. And every Black person in this country now, if you've got felonies, you can vote as long as you, I believe, are not on parole. You can get registered to vote. You have no excuse. Then don't complain when they hire a racist in local government and you're not registered to vote and you could have kept him or her out.
Because
that's the fact.
To sit there and alleviate the tension that you're going to eventually bitch about. Okay, so you know what?
Right.
I swear, like, this is the definition of dashing it out. Thank you. Thank you. Enlighten the generations, because the things that's happening is just so profound. It's irritating. It's hardly.
They feel like they shouldn't have to beg and ask to be treated like humans, and none of us should. But this is the world that we live in, and these are the cards that, even though we wasn't in the game, we were dealt. So we're either going to continue to play this game where we keep losing and we ain't getting enough spade books, or we're going to go ahead and we're going to create another game that's going to be beneficial for all of us. But most importantly, we're going to sometimes win at that game. I understand. And there's a lack of education about what local government is. Because, you know, I'm also a member of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women.
You go, girl.
And we've done different voter webinar, and people are still asking questions because they don't know. And I mentioned the mayor, because the mayor hires your police chief. Your police chief is going to set the tone for the police officers that he hired. That's the stuff you should be involved in on, to make sure and to know who to go to. So while you know, some people are going to city council, people's houses and going, your mayor is the problem, because he hired him. He can fire him. He can overrule him. People need to understand, and Black folks need to stop riding in the dark. We have white allies. That's wonderful, but we can't ride on the back of our white allies, because they only understand 13% of what we're dealing with, and we gave them all 13 of that percent.
You're kidding, right?
So we have to get out there and do the work. We have to get involved and show them that we not only have commercial and economic power, but we also have power of tongue, power of voice, and that we can put it to action.
Yeah.
Right. The white Caucasian race, there are some those who are there for us.
Right.
And like just people in general, like, you know, certain people of stature, like some of them are there for us. Not all of a particular race or particular demographic is biased. and racist. Some of them are there for us, but we need to stop being so goddamn lazy and stop expecting for the door to be open and for us to be pushed through it. No, you walk your ass through the fucking door and you put up a podium and you stand there and you stand in your truth.
That's right.
Okay, and I feel as though that's needed. That's really what's needed. Issues are being addressed is when something dire happens, and it's sad to say, but unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, it results within a death. And then now we shook up as a community. Now we shook up when, truthfully and entirely, our ancestors been going through this shit for years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
We need to just go ahead and utilize what's been given to us and what God given us, which is our strength, our power, does embedded within us to sit there and enact change for the betterment of all.
That's right.
It's almost like we was talking about before with like domestic violence. Don't wait until you keep getting hit and you start turning sore in the face that you just like, oh, I'm done. No, the first strike is just like, oh, there's something wrong up there.
Yeah,
there's something wrong up there. Okay, right. And I just think that we need to take that into accountability and grow from it.
Absolutely, you're 100% right. Absolutely, I agree.
You too. Let me tell you something. You just woken this inhibition out of me. I swear that I'm feeling your energy. Like I'm loving you. Like you. Let me tell you something, y'all. If y'all don't get this book, okay, y'all gonna get this book. Okay, I swear this is highly. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and get my copy today. Right. I'm gonna get my copy. I need this. It's something to end. Like I just talking to you alone. I'm just like, oh damn. I feel as though I can. I feel like I'm the shits right now.
Utilize the skills and the tools from the book to get your point across, and that can help you to be able to formulate. Because a lot of times as Black folks, we think that we will speak however, and they just going to understand us. And no, they don't have to. They're running it. They really don't have to. They can excuse you, exclude you, and check you off of the box. So it's important that we know how to communicate on all facets, because sometimes that communication can get you in the door and can get you understood. People are not going to decipher through your words, your meanings, and your intentions to get what you're trying to say. And having good communication skills when you're at that council meeting will allow you to be able to communicate and talk. Like I can have a full argument with you and not even raise my octave.
Goodbye. 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 Farewell.
I already know what to say and how to say it, but I need to get my point across and understanding how to be able to communicate. And we have to learn how to do that more, because my mother used to always say that Black people got all the sayings and white people got all the money. So you scream and yell at them all you want to, but they're the ones holding all the cards.
That's true.
But learning how to communicate and get your point across is going to be highly effective. I've had to go in front of the Senate. I've gone in front of the Board of Supervisors, and I've had the undivided attention, let me tell you, because when I get ready to communicate with you, you understand, okay, well, this shit could be a problem for us. Let's go ahead and figure this out. and they're right. Let's be clear.
Oh Lord, there's an educated Black woman.
Right. They was waiting for Shaniqua. She was not coming. No, not today. You got Tamori. Thank you. So, absolutely.
You're more than welcome to come back on the show. And like I said, I'm about to get my copy of this book because, look, I'm being schooled right now, and okay, I don't like being schooled. No, I love being educated.
Right.
And I feel like everyone can have a lot to take away from today's episode.
Yep.
So thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Dash It Out. A special thanks to my lovely co-host, Tamari Richardson. You can find her works at TilaneySpeaks.com. Did I pronounce that right?
It's T-Leanne.
Move out of the way, stupid.
T-Leanne. Okay. No, what you shout out the website. I said T-Leanne.
No problem. It's www.tleannespeaks.com. That's TLEANNESPEAKS.com, or on Facebook under T-Leanne Speaking Pros LLC or Tamori Richardson. You can find me. Google me. I'm all over the place.
All over the place. I'm also going to put the information down in the description. Everyone, be sure to check out her book, 10 Steps to Becoming a Highly Effective Speaker, a simple guide to developing confidence while public speaking, y'all. Available today on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. And like she said, Google her. Google her, baby. She everywhere. Once again, I just want to give a special thanks again for you being on the show. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your insight, your wisdom with all of us. Truly do appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'd love to come back anytime. You're a wonderful host. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Until next time, have a great one, dear. Thank you again for dashing it out with me.